The information discussed in this PILCast episode are merely opinions and do not constitute formal policy or legal guidance of any kind.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of PILCast, the video blog where we talk about important procurement innovations in 10 minutes or less. We guarantee it. I'm Scott Simpson with the Procurement Innovation Lab.
And I'm David Jablonski.
Well, it's Monday, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to review a recent GAO decision.
That's right. It's the Monday Morning Court-erback. And today we have a great case for you. It's an issue that we think GAO reviewed for the very first time. The Department of Health and Human Services, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, issued a solicitation for website quality control. The solicitation was using FAR Part 16.5 Fair Opportunity Procedures, and it included an advisory down select. Now, the PIL has taught the advisory down select technique for the past 5 years, and this is an important decision on what substance is required in those advisory down select letters.
SparkSoft, our protester here, submitted a phase 1 quotation. After evaluation, CMS informed them that the agency did not recommend the vendor proceed to the next stage of the procurement. But as sometimes happens, the vendor notified CMS that they intended to proceed anyways. But the vendor complained that CMS didn't provide enough information about the evaluation of its stage 1 quotation. CMS responded that the protester's stage 1 quotation had been assigned a rating of unacceptable and that the agency found its relevant experience to be unqualified. David, is that what you would have done here?
Not at all. No, sir. Now, the PIL recommends providing a general statement that the vendor is not advised to proceed because they were not among the most highly rated offers, just as CMS tried to do initially. But we also recommend including with the letter the order of importance of the evaluation factors. That's to really hit home that the vendor, if it wasn't the most highly rated in that first phase. This way, vendors know it'll be difficult to make it up in that second phase. Now, the PIL does not recommend providing the vendor with their adjectival ratings either, or the noteworthy observations, just that brief statement there. Now, especially here, where the vendor has already said they were going to proceed to the next phase, you don't want to provide them information that isn't shared with the other vendors because that's not being fair.
Now, CMS eventually did the right thing. And when the protester asked again for more information, CMS finally said no. And they responded, because the firm has elected to continue to stage 2 of the competition, a more detailed debriefing regarding the evaluation cannot be provided. But our protester didn't like that answer, and so they filed a protest with GAO prior to the phase 2 submission deadline.
In the protest, the vendor argued that the agency's failure to provide it with additional information is preventing them from making an informed choice as to whether the firm should expend additional resources to proceed to stage 2. Now, basically, they argued that the advisory down select letter needed to provide more information. Now, Scott, what do you think? Was GAO persuaded by this argument?
Not in the least. The GAO said that the protester had failed to state a legally sufficient ground of protest. The solicitation clearly stated that vendors would be informed after stage 1 whether they would be a viable competitor. And the agency did that by recommending the protester not to move forward to stage 2, and that the agency thought it was unlikely the firm would be a viable contender.
Now, the GAO did say that if the protester thought the agency had violated applicable procurement laws or regulations, that they had a remedy. Firms that elect to participate in phase 2 of the procurement have an opportunity to challenge the agency's evaluation of its quotation under either stage after an award has been made. That's big there, after an award has been made.
Yeah, and that seems to settle the question. Vendors cannot protest an advisory down select letter. In fact, in the decision, GAO equates this to protesting the adequacy of a debriefing, which it also does not review, because that's a procedural matter that does not affect the validity of the award.
That's right. So in your next advisory down select letter, consider just including a few short statements. We recommend that you do not proceed to phase 2 because you were not found to be the most highly rated offerers. You don't need to include their rating or any noteworthy observations. All of that can be provided at the end of award, either via debriefing or brief explanation of award, or even the informal feedback sessions for those who don't proceed. Now, we really want to remember here that vendors, they're our partners in this process as well, and we need to treat them as such too. We need to make sure we're providing them meaningful information to assist them in understanding areas that they need to improve. That way, the next time they may have an opportunity to be competitive and win a next award. Now, you can find sample letters on the periodic table of acquisition innovations at fai.gov.
Let us know what you think of the decision in the comments below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification icon so you get all of our latest updates, and we will see you next time. Bye now.